Welcome to Papercraft Possibilities. I am Susan. Today I'm working on a challenge from our design team over at Inspiration Collaboration. I'll pop up a picture here on the screen so you can see all of us in the group. And this challenge this month comes from Cami, and it reads, Happy March, ladies. This month's envelope has 6x6 DSP, which is designer series paper, and smaller, so the challenge is to create a scrapbook layout using small papers. You could use these background papers, you could use these as background papers, embellishments, or whatever else you may think of. In the envelope, you'll find pink scalloped ribbon. Let's see, that would be this one. Yellow satin ribbon, that is this one. Double stitched ribbon, that would be this one. And Bloom Impressions DSP, and my all-time favorite antique pearls, which I've put over here to the side so I don't lose them. And let's see, where was I? Antique pearls. Use anything from your stash to help you create a fantastic layout. Happy crafting, Cami. So these are the items that she has sent along. So let me, we're not supposed to go any bigger than a 6x6 paper is kind of the guideline on this. So this is what she sent along. These are the fronts and these are the backs. And there was one other one, but I believe I've cut into that. So these are the papers. Here's a few other small little pieces. This is going to be a great one for using up your scraps. So I'm going to put this aside and we're going to get started. First, I've gone ahead and I've gutted out some Daffodil Delight paper, come in with my white, and I just wanted to bring in a little bit more of the yellow because it was kind of looking like it needed some color. So, first, let me see, bear with me. I have done just some layering. I've gone ahead and used some of the DSP for my photo mats. Let me get these octagons laid out and I'll come right back to you. I now have my octagon shapes glued together, at least these layers, and then this outside piece I'm just going to leave loose until we decide where we want everything to go. And the stamp set or the die set that I have used is called Meant to Be. And this is where I always mark how many times I've used a die set, so I know if I'm getting my my money's worth. I have to use it at least 5 times in a year or I pass it on. So anyways, going back to this. These are the octagon shapes that I've used, and I've actually went through and cut a lot. Let me show you how many I cut. Can you believe this? Just to try and find the mixture that I want. So not only does it cut out the octagon shape, you also get a border with it. So you can go ahead and mix and match those, which is really kind of fun, obviously. So I'm not going to use these, so I'll just put them back in that envelope where my die goes, and then I will have these ready for the next project. The next thing that I want to do is I want to put a birdhouse up in here. And I'm going to go ahead and use this set, which is Country Birdhouse. And I think I want to put it here. And then I want to put some branches over here with some flowers. And then these little flowers here are from the Delightful Wishes stamp and die set. I have them both, but right here I just have my dies. Sometimes if I know I can use them independent from the stamps, I will put them in their own envelope, so I keep all my dies right next to my desk, so they're very handy. So that's what that is. This is part of the birdhouse, and I'm going to be cutting out quite a few of these flowers, so I'm going to leave this scrap and just punch as many as I need. And here are parts of the birdhouse. This is the circle for the bird to go into, and you'll see what we're going to do with that. So I'm going to go die cut those, and I'll be right back. We now have all of our die cuts done. I am going to run these Shy Shamrock pieces to the birdhouse. I'm going to run them through on my 3D, I believe it's called Timber. Yes, my 3D embossing folder. So I'm kind of trying to find, I know it's hard for you guys to see on the screen. Let's see. Kind of trying to see where I can get the most bang for my buck on this little tiny piece here and place it right about there in this embossing folder. And oops, I'm trying to, this other piece is getting away from me. This one you're not gonna be able to tell a whole lot, but it will give me texture on this piece, so I'm just placing that in there like that. And when you run this through your machine, just make sure you have the quote unquote sandwich layers that you need with a 3D embossing folder. So now if you were doing this on the white core paper, which in May, they're gonna be coming out in every color with the white core on the 12 by 12 paper. So you could go through and you could rough these up with a little bit of sandpaper. I use a nail file and bring out the white, and that would look really cool. But I think what I'm gonna do today is I'm just gonna bring in the same color of ink and just ink up the sides just so I can get a little bit more definition. So let me get my craft mat out. And just gonna ink it up just a little here and bring it down my edges. Just comes up a little on the edges, and it'll give some shadowing effect to the birdhouse because I'm wanting this to look like a little shelf that the bird will be sitting on. Now we're bringing in the little bird from the Country Birdhouse collection. And I actually have it set up over here on a stamp, or on a stamp block. We're using our Memento because we're going to bring in some blending pens and do some really simple coloring. Let's see what we've got here. And there is a die for this, which is great. Perfect. So I'll wipe this off and I'll get the die cut going. Before I die cut this, I want to go ahead and just do some really simple blending on here with our Stampin' Blend markers. And this is the color Dark Daffodil and Light Daffodil. So I'm going to start with my light, and I like to use the sharp point on this. And I have learned by using these pens that if you can stay away from the edges just a bit, that's great, because they do tend to wick, meaning they might bleed just a little. I hate that term, but you know what I mean. They might go over the edges just a little. So, and I think that's more so when they're new and they're, you know, they're pretty inky. So, and I'm just gonna kind of feather it up in here, and I'm gonna do a little on his beak. And then I'm going to bring in my dark one, same point, and I'm going to kind of go around where there might be a shadow. And then I'm going to come back in with my lighter pen and do some blending. Okay. And I'm going to leave the head of our little bird just the way he is, just kind of white, so he'll stand out on the birdhouse. And as this dries, pardon me, you will see how it just blends all together. I think I'm going to give his little feet just a little bit of color. Okay, now I'm gonna die cut. We have all of our pieces for our birdhouse, so let's put this together. I had done a trial run in this earlier, and I kind of want to show you the order in which I put things together because it helped a little through trial and error. So I put this piece on first, which is kind of a scalloped edge, and I'll get my fingers out of the way here in a minute. There is kind of a scalloped edge down here on each side where you line this piece up at. And I am using liquid glue because I think it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. And using my craft mat that. Now what you might want to do is do a dry fit with your little roof. And again, there's places to bring it down here on the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oops. And that's why I use my craft mat. So if I have anything that drips, it's on there, not my desk. All right, there's that piece. And this little tiny border here, I'm going to put right in there. Let's see. There we go. Just want to do a dry fit on that, make sure it's okay. Making sure I'm on screen here. Just some little dots of glue. You definitely don't want a lot here. Just line it up as best you can. Again, you have a little bit of wiggle room because we have our liquid glue. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So now what we're going to do is I have some of my foam tape and I'm going to go ahead and use this on the base of the birdhouse. And another one here at the top I think would be good. I don't like to get it right to the edge. Sometimes it shows. We'll pull off our release backing on this. That's pretty good. I must say in this die set there is another little tiny hole where you could put where it looks like a stick where the bird is sitting. But I tried that and I think I'm just going to do him here. Now he's going to be sitting on this shelf. So I'm going to put some dots on him to pop him up, but you want to keep in mind only to put it up towards the top. Down here you already have your foam tape. Let me pull out some that I have going here and we'll get him all set up. I'm so excited for spring, you guys. We're in Washington and it's only our second, we've been here about a year and a half. And this has been a long winter for us. So we are anxious to start seeing the sun and spring. Our flowers are about ready to burst open out in the garden. And I love to be out there. Okay, so there we go. There is our birdhouse. So I'm gonna put that aside for a minute. I've done a little bit more stamping and working on my title. And this stamp right here has come from Storybook Life, which has been super popular. So I stamped that on some of our DSP and I think I'm going to use it like that and put a border on it like that. I'd kind of tested this in my test run and I don't like how this is laid out. So I've gone ahead and done it this way, and I've tried using both of these colors on my stamps, stamped images here. And I just ended up liking just the light Daffodil Delight on that. And then these flowers came from the Country Birdhouse. This one is down here, and then this and this one are down here. So I just want to make sure you knew where I got those from. And then in regards to the green, I do not have the Shy Shamrock blending pens. So I've brought in my tricolor, my good old trusty tricolor pens, and this is the light green blend. And I'm going to use the lightest color on this to come in and do my leaves. Kind of went outside the lines there, but we'll go with it. And then I've got a little dot in the inside of some of these flowers. the ones that I'm going to go ahead and use. So I'm going to die cut those out and we'll proceed. I'm going to go over one more thing before we start putting all our pieces together on our page. I'm going to make some of these flowers here, and you can see that they have, hopefully I could turn them on the side here. They have some dimension to them. Let's see if you can kind of, it's hard to do on screen. Anyways, they have some dimension to them. And I've used different scraps of different paper that go with my collection of, I forgot the name of it, the Floral Delight paper. So I've used some scraps. I've done a bunch of die cutting. So I'll lay those finished ones up there. And these are some styluses that I have. I've ordered these off Amazon, and they come with like a package of 10 in varying sizes. So I wanted to bring several of these out to show you. And I'm going to go ahead and use the smaller of these three. And I have a foam pad here, and I'll put a link to all of these things down below. But I'm going to take the medium part of that and just press down and just go around in circles, and you're going to see that your leaves or your petals are going to pop up. Hopefully you can see that texture there, how it comes up. So I'm doing that, and then I brought in these dies to show you, and these are from the Delightful Wishes set, and these are the two dies that I'm using from there. And I'm going to take the smaller end of this stylus and just do a little bit of running around in the middle with that one. And then I'm going to take a little dab of glue and just put in the middle of this. Kind of spread it around a little. And I just kind of laid these in there. There is no particular way. I just kind of laid it in there. And then once it was dry, I guess you could do it before it's not dry, I'll open a brand new one of these. These are the Starburst Sequins, and they're nice and flat. So I've used these in the center of each one of these, just to kind of give it a little bit of glitz. And we're gonna use these, quite a few of them on our page. And what I've done is I've come in and there's a branch like this, and let me find the die so you can take a look at that. So this is a die, and it comes from this set too. A little deceiving because it's not on the outside here, but these are the dies that come within that set along with these two. So I'm going to show you how we're going to put this all together. So let me bring in my sheets. So I brought in my twigs. I'm just loosely laying this out. I kind of want it to look like a tree that's kind of going and just blooming. That's what we're experiencing in Washington right now. So I've got a lot of these little flowers I'm going to put up in here. And what I'm going to do is there's several different die cuts of these twigs. You can see here where they don't kind of come together evenly, and I'll put a flower in there and just space these out. And as soon as I'm happy with that, then we can start gluing some things down, I think. Now, going back to the beginning of our video, you'll remember that Cami sent along this gold/yellow ribbon. And I had gone ahead and I've cut this out of the die cuts that comes with the birdhouse. But I think I'm gonna pass on that, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the ribbon that she supplied to tie my birdhouse to the tree. And I'm thinking about putting something back in here. I'm just not sure what I wanna do. And I'll probably pop this up also. So I need to do that. And then I've brought in a set of these flowers. Let me see if I can pull my other ones. Bear with me. These have come from this set of punch outs, and these are called Fully Flowering Ephemera Pack. And I know quite a few of you got these when they first came out. So there's 2 of each design on these, and the colors are perfect for this color combo here. So I'm just kind of flipping through here to see if I see anything else. That one could go, so let me pull that out and see if it can be used. It's the Shy Shamrock color that's, you know, is the kind of the, we have to stay with that. So this one may not work because it's got more of the old olive green in it. So we'll put that one aside. I think I may have gotten everything that I need. Here's one in the Shy Shamrock color that we might be able to use. And I think we're kind of back to the beginning. And I think I'm gonna have these overlapping. And I failed to tell you the reason why I don't have my pictures in here and I just have picture placeholders. So this is where my pictures will go. By the way, these come with every scrapbook workshop that you get, so you can get photo placeholders. And they're very handy because I know what pictures I'm going to use. They're out of our garden last spring, but I haven't printed them yet, and I wanted to get this video done. So when you see me do my, usually about every quarter, I'll do a walkthrough of all my pages that I completed that quarter. You'll be able to see the pictures then. So I may want to come up here in that. And I want to spread these out. So maybe down in here. And what I'll do is I won't glue down the side that where I can get my picture in there. I'll just glue this side. Let's see what some of these look like. Maybe we could put some on our birdhouse. That looks good. Wonder what 2 would look like. I might just do 1 there. What I might do is bring down, let's see, one of these flowers here. That looks good. So we can do that. And then I have these last 2 that are actually matching. Let's see. I wonder, up here we have the die cuts that I made and colored. And if we could do, I wonder if it'd be overwhelming though. I might be able to cut some of these off and use them. I think to use them all, like, it might be overwhelming. And then the greens don't match because I had to use my green separate pen there. So I'm gonna put those aside for right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and glue some of this down. My only thought here is I'm wondering if I need to put some yellow behind here and do some ink blending. I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna put it on a sample piece of paper and bring it in. Either that or some splashing, let's see. Give that some thought and I'll be back. Real quick before I start gluing this down, what I wanted to show you is I just took 2 scrap pieces of paper, copy paper, put down some yellow daffodil and then the Shy Shamrock on. I wanted to do some background blending, and I think I like just a slight touch of the daffodil because it kind of looks like sun coming through the branches here. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of that down very lightly and kind of build it up until I get it to where I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to make sure I blot off before I start. Take just a little bit more. And you want to do this at the very light hand when you're coming in the middle of something like this, because I kind of can't blend off the side like I normally would. So I'm just doing it really light-handed. Like I said, I'd rather build up. Okay, there's that side. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's come over here. All right, I'm good with that. So I am now going to glue most of this down. I'll come back to you when I'm putting on the little bits and pieces at the end. So now we're down to the finishing touches. I've got most of this glued down. We're going to be working on our bow here, and I'm going to finish off our title over here. So first what I want to do is I have our, I always forget what we call those, mini glue dots. You tell I'm not great with names. Okay, I'm just going to roll this up. Maybe I'll do 2 of them. I want to put them on the back of this bow that I already have made. And then what I want to do is grab a portion of this ribbon that Cami was kind enough to send in her set of products to use. Let's see if I can get that on there straight. And I'll grab my detailed scissors here and see if I can get rid of that bottom. So this, I want at the top of my birdhouse. I may have to put some more glue or something on there. It's not wanting to stick, and I think it's because of the 3D effect here that I had on the rooftop here. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glue. I think we're good there. Just gonna hold that for a minute. And let's see, I wonder if I can get this flower off of here still. Because I think we can fake this. I think I'm gonna put this ribbon up here, and then I'll put that flower back on. So let's trim that up. I think we need to trim it just a little bit more. No one will know, right? Put our flower back on there. Just glob some more glue in there. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, so now we're gonna add our little items over here, and I am going to do some glue dots on there, and it looks like we're losing our sun. Yeah, hopefully we're still okay. And some glue dots. So not glue dots, these are the dimensionals. I'm gonna cut one of these in half. So I can use them out here on these flowers. They're a little bit smaller. And I still wanna cut some of this off. All right. Pull off this release backing. Tiny, tiny, tiny. It's just a real fragile point in there in the die cut, or I don't want to rip it. All right. I think we're good there. And I actually found one more flower we can put down over here. So these, I think what I want to do is, there's 2 of a kind of flower, and then there is this one. And so it's a little bit different. I'm going to pop that one up. So with these, let me grab my reverse tweezers here. I'll just put some glue on these. I kind of don't want them to be too exact, too planned, if you will. So wondering if these dimensionals will fit. Nope, they won't. So what I'm going to do is cut a little piece off here. Yeah, don't forget about these pieces. You can use these too. And it's still a little too big. Okay, I think we're gonna call that done. Pardon my arms in there. So let me pull these off of here and show you what we have. I have my little glue dots back there that hold my pages in place on my Versamats. And there will also be pictures after this video. And then there's also going to be a picture of our whole inspiration collaboration team. Oh, I've got one loose flower there I forgot about. So please go and visit their pages and see what they have done. And I want to thank Cammie for this month's challenge. It was fun. I had fun using these colors. I normally would not use this green color, so I'm happy to have used it and that I like the page. So so stick around and take a look at those pictures and write down everyone's names that you can go in and go see their pages. And their pages will all be listed down below too, where you can go look and see what they did for this challenge and trying to use only nothing but 6x6 papers. And I must say I stuck to everything with the exception of my placeholder here for my photo. I went a little bit above 6 inches, and I had some of this paper in my stash, so I was able to use my paper and cut that. So here you go. I would love to hear what you thought, and please give consideration to subscribing. It costs nothing, and leave me a like and comment. I'd love to know where you're viewing from. So until next time, everyone, bye-bye.